It's something where it just kind of makes sense, where I'm like, and you guys,
Yeah.
either I'm closing it out or I'm like trying to emphasize the point and speak to the audience.
Yeah.
And I don't really turn to it. Hello everybody, welcome. My name is Marchant Young. You're watching Get Wrecked. This is episode 6, and I'm a little bit out of my element. But it's okay, because I got a woman sitting next to me that is definitely much more in her element. And this is Miss Annie Boswell. Annie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh, it's just a beautiful Wednesday afternoon.
It is.
We're here at the Blake Boutique. We're kind of what is the address for this? 46. What's the address for this place?
4920 Roswell Road. It's in the Fountain Oaks Shopping Center.
Fountain Oaks Shopping Center. Well,
Yeah.
and I grew up around here, and I know you did too. But I would love to just kind of start off with, from my understanding, you've got a little bit of entrepreneurial history, whether it was in college, everything like that. So if you mind just taking me through kind of how everything got started with you in this business,
Yeah.
and really when it was in college, and then how you got it to here.
Definitely. So it's always been my dream to have a brick and mortar store. Since I was 18, I think. I had a cigar box and put my cash in it, saved up, because I knew one day that this is what I wanted to do. So I made jewelry in middle school, high school, and college.
Okay.
So saved my money with that, and then once I graduated college, I managed a boutique in Buckhead
Okay.
for a couple of years and tried to learn as much as I could through that. And then I opened an online boutique during COVID, and I opened it with my best friend Caroline, and we built out her basement and just did the online thing. We went down to Scott's Antique Market once a month.
Okay. Where's that?
Set up a little booth. It's down by the airport.
Okay. And they just set up a bunch of booths for
Yeah,
boutique
just a
online
bunch of
stores.
different.
Okay.
It could be anything, like men's woodwork or a pet booth,
Arts,
anything.
locals,
Yeah.
crafts, everything like
Yeah.
that.
So we did that once a month, and I just always had the dream of the brick and mortar in the back of my mind. So I ended up selling the business to Caroline, and it's still going on. It's called Harper Point.
Harbor Point, check
Yep,
it out.
yes, and she's doing great. So I
That
start.
was COVID, right?
That was COVID.
That take you through timeline here. What are we in?
Yeah,
2021
we're
right now?
we're in. 2021. Hard to keep up with the years.
Yeah, you're good.
So let's see. Last August, I started looking for places, and there weren't many out there, which was hard to believe because places were going out of business because of COVID.
Right.
So I had two places that I was looking at. One of them was here, and everything just kind of fell into place, to be honest. I had my whole family come and look at it to get their approval, because I was
Right.
like, I value their opinion so much, and I wanted them to like it. It's a half a mile from my house, so I was like,
That works
can't
out.
beat that.
Can't beat that. Nope.
And I have the Pure Bar studio next to me, nail salon, hair salon above me. So I felt like there's never going to be a day where you're like, everything's totally perfect.
Yeah, the
like,
stars are not always going to align.
Exactly.
You kind of just have to send it.
Yeah. So I woke up one day and I was like, I'm going to do the dang thing.
Yeah. And this was when would you kind of
This
decide
was September.
that? Of 2021.
Yeah, of 2021. So
Okay.
I signed my lease. Had to do the whole security deposit thing. So had to take my cigar box to the bank.
Oh,
gave
wait,
them all
so
my
you
cash.
still had that cigar
Literally,
box.
still had it. Took my dad with me to the bank because I was like, this
Yeah,
is
you
so
don't
much
know, yeah.
cash.
The wrong time you get pulled over or
I
anything wrong will happen. It's
I
like,
know.
all right, I just need somebody with me. So you had the cigar box going to the bank.
Yeah. Gave him that and signed my first, or paid for my first month of rent. And then I opened up November 1st, and it's been great. I'm very thankful.
That's awesome. And, you kind of mentioned it in there, and I think it plays big factor into where you choose to put your brick and mortar location. But like you said, you got a Pure Bar.
Yep.
There's a couple other. Do you feel like when you looked at this spot, you know, the right people that you wanted around you, your market was right here?
Yeah, and there's like 2 stores that I know of that are in the city of Sandy Springs. I was like, even if it's not me, a boutique needs to go in this spot because there's
really
nowhere. Yeah, it's all in Buckhead.
It's like the shops. I know you.
Yeah,
the Buckhead shops,
which is great. But for the people that live on this side and further into Sandy Springs, they don't have anywhere to shop. So I think that was a big deal too, going where the market needed it to be.
No, I mean that. If you can penetrate a market like in Sandy Springs, obviously there's an affluent society within Sandy Springs that would love to come here, and I love the setup personally. I love the small size boutique is definitely a look that when I found out that you were doing this, I think it was somebody shared something on Instagram, but I hit up Walker, our mutual friend, and I was like, do you think Annie would be up for getting on the show or anything like that? It's like, I don't know, here's a number you can ask. But no, I was super excited about it. So tell me a little bit about the business then, and kind of what you do and how you came to monetize it and how it kind of came to be.
Okay. So I learned a lot through my old business, Harper Point. Caroline taught me, she used to work in the wholesale side of things.
Okay.
So she taught me a lot about the wholesale, going down to Atlanta Mart, and just like small things that you wouldn't know unless someone ever told you how to order things, size runs, minimums, just stuff they don't teach you in college.
Yeah.
So that was super awesome. And then I've learned a lot from my dad. He had his own business, so he has taught me a lot that I'm super thankful for, which is why I named the Blake. He's Michael Blake.
I was going to get to that. So so his name is Blake as well.
Yep, it's a family name, and I wanted the name to really mean something, so I named it after him.
And so you're bringing in just different brands of clothing as
Yes.
far as all that, sourcing from whoever it is, local people that make clothes or name brands, everything like that, and kind of put it together.
Yep. So I try and get as much as I can from the U.S.
Okay.
I pride myself in that. Some brands, I have gaps to fill, so some things have to come from overseas. But I do love supporting local vendors too. So I have a ton of jewelry designers that are from Atlanta, some from North Carolina, South Carolina, and then the silk scarves that I carry, she's from here. I have a good amount of people that are like within the 10-mile radius of the store, which is super cool because they'll pop in and people can meet the designer.
I think that's what it's all about though, right?
Yeah.
It's being able to talk with people like that, and whether it's bouncing ideas off this designer, that designer, and kind of just how you can grow your business.
Yeah, and you learn
reach more
so
people.
much from each other. There's so much learning to be done. Is
it that community? I mean, what would you consider? Are you what would you say like your sphere of? Is it just like the clothing world? Is like do you guys share a lot of information? Is it a?
I don't know if it's. I feel like it's just if you have this, I guess, artistic and business mind, putting them together, you can learn so much from the other people. Like, I feel like I teach one of my friends who designs the silk scarves so much about business, but then she's here to help me do things on the creative side of it. Like, it's just, it meshes well.
Right, because I mean, you're essentially a platform as well for their business.
Yeah.
Because everybody comes in and they see all the different designs and everything that you have, and they basically, that's how people learn about it.
Yeah, definitely.
And you guys, I mean, I know it's you, and then obviously you have Cooper, your little sister, that is here working with you as well.
Yes.
So you guys are basically just taking it on.
Full throttle.
Full throttle.
It's a kind of a family affair.
Okay.
My mom's working here too.
Oh, really?
My aunt. And then I
have the whole family. It's the whole squad.
I have 2 non-family members that I've hired, but they're like family. And the family's always popping in. It's fun. I want it to feel like a home in here, you know?
No, I love this couch. Like I said, this is the most. I was telling her earlier. This is the best aesthetics that I have ever been a part of as far as shooting a show. Everything else, is not necessarily been, minus a couple that we did here recently. But just it's cool when you walk in here and you can kind of feel like that at-home vibe and everything like that.
I'm glad.
So tell me a little bit about just like the mental business side for you. So I mean, when you, like you said earlier, when you jumped in and you were like, all right, I'm just gonna go. All the stars aren't aligned, everything like that. For you on a daily basis, what is it like? Getting up and I've got people that count on me. I need to count on myself to get out and run the business and be the face and do that every day.
Yeah.
So I think that's a whole business within itself, is just up here.
Definitely.
Keeping this.
I
okay.
agree. Definitely having a positive mindset, no matter what. When it's raining outside, you kind of know as a retail owner, oh, it's going to be a slow day. It's raining outside.
Okay.
But I mean, what's the point of being negative all day because it's raining? Some people might come out because it is raining. There's nothing else to do.
Right.
So a lot of it is being positive. A lot of money management. I feel like I'm looking at my budget every day, just making sure I'm on track. Saving, putting a little bit into my savings.
A lot of reinvesting into the business, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely.
He's like, I can't buy that. It's going back into the company.
I know. Yeah. So it's a learning process.
And you guys have been open since what, November?
November. So it's been 4 months.
How about the outpour of help from all your friends coming in and helping out? Has it been great?
They're the best. Yeah. My friends, my family. I mean, we're all in here when the first day when I got the key, we were in here painting, doing the floors, opening the carpets. I mean, I could not have done it by myself.
So did you guys pretty much put up all this stuff as far as in here goes?
Yeah. I was super lucky with my brother and my dad. Everyone really helped out.
I mean, it comes down to it. Family, being able to come in and help build your business and get it to quicker. I mean, because as soon as you get a month in, I mean, you're losing profit.
And it was prime time. I mean, it's right before the holiday, so I was like, I have got to open the doors and I've got to put clothes in here. I remember we moved in and I thought I had so many clothes. Zach, my husband, was so annoyed because all these boxes were coming to our house of merchandise, and our guest bedroom literally turned into a warehouse of clothes.
Right, he's like, we got to get it out.
Yeah, so we got it out. I was like, oh, heck yeah, I'm going to fill up the store. And I got in here. I was like, oh, my gosh, there's not anything for anyone to buy.
No.
So that was a panic moment, but it all turned out all right.
Yeah, I think, from everything that I've seen in here, when I look on everything you're doing, I mean, it looks like you guys are kind of getting models in and basically modeling the clothing and everything like that. As far as the social media goes, you guys have a lot of posts. What do you think, how does that drive the importance of your business?
I think this day and age, it's all social media. I still am running the Blake online too, so I do some sales through the website, which is nice. But I mean, I think we're all addicted to our phones, so I think people are just scrolling through Instagram, and I want to be there when they're looking through their Instagram.
No, yeah. That's more and more that I'm learning, with doing this podcast and everything like that. People will talk about, how much quantity, all the content, how much
I don't get all the algorithms and stuff. I'm like, I'm posting this, I hope someone sees it.
There's such a science behind it. And no, when I look at it, you guys have a bunch of content, and I just wanted to commend you on that, just because it looks like you guys are, really pursuing that. And when I think about it, and how to grow the podcast or anything like that, the content piece is a whole different thing, because I get down and we sit here and we have conversations, but I'm not doing this necessarily every day,
right,
where you can just keep ripping out these things. But I think what you're doing with that, and what I've noticed from as much content you're putting out, is you guys are taking the total right approach. And I mean, at the end of the day, shoot, I pretty much wear the same thing every day, but most girls that I know do not want to wear the same things every day. I mean, they're looking for new styles. They're looking for new ways to kind of express, their likes and
when
dislikes.
The new trends come out, or they're going on a new trip.
You have to be on top of that, I feel like. I mean, whether it's just new trends,
it's
the
crazy.
shoes, the belts, whatever you got to do.
Research.
just a bunch of research on?
Yeah. Europe is always, this is a fun fact, Europe is
Okay.
always 3 years ahead of us fashion-wise.
3 years?
3 years.
So you have to wait for the perfect right time. So
Yeah.
you don't jump in as soon as Europe
Heck
hits
no.
it.
If you see it in Europe, you're like, oh, we'll see that in the U.S. in about 3 years, 2 to 3 years.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, we're
That's
that
probably,
behind.
That's probably known in your world, but I've got no clue. We're that far
Yeah.
behind.
It's bad.
I mean, I love Europe. I definitely love Europe, but that's the whole thing. Is like, I'm literally what you see, what I'm wearing right now. I mean, it's a different form of this every day.
Different
There's-
color?
Yeah, just a little bit different
Jeans
color.
instead of
Yeah,
khakis?
jeans. There's just no style.
Oh,
So I mean,
man.
I walk in here and I'm like, this takes thought. This is a process of
Yeah.
kind of shaping everything.
Definitely.
So what do you see as far as, I know you got over in the corner, you got a little guy's corner,
Mm-hmm.
as you said. But what's the vision for the future? Where do you see yourself going with this? More on the online. You've got this awesome boutique here,
Mm-hmm.
and as much as you can promote that, you want to. But do you have something that you're planning for down the road?
Yeah, I have my 5-year plan. I'd love to open up another location.
Okay.
I'd love for it to be in Birmingham or Auburn. My in-laws are in Birmingham, so I think
Okay.
it'd be an easier choice than the other ones.
And just so you can tell everybody, where'd you go to college?
Auburn War Eagle.
Yeah, that's brutal. All right, move on. We just had to get it out. So Birmingham.
Yep, and then Auburn because that's where I went. But I think they need more stores there.
So there's more of the Blake Boutique
Oh yeah,
in other
I
places.
hope. Cross your fingers.
No, that's awesome. Well, look, hey, I appreciate you hopping on this with me. I know that doing this in the midst of trying to run a business and everything else that you got going on. You got a husband, but I just appreciate you sitting down and taking the time and talking with me. And of course, we want to get the Blake Boutique out to the world as much as we can. So if you don't mind telling the people where they can find you on Instagram or any other social media outlets.
Yep, Instagram is @theblakeatl, and then our website is www.theblakeatl.com.
All right, y'all. You heard it from her. Come out to the Blake over here in the Fountain Oaks Shopping Center. You guys get out, support local, support small businesses, and get wrecked. See you soon.
Woo!
Woo! Boom.
Gotcha.
How long was that?
And not be like, we're gonna go all in. That didn't make sense. We're gonna have to pause that.